Hello everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Z, episode 374. I'm Chris Adams, the second master, joined by...
RPG Maniaco 5.
And Traptical.
So yeah,
I'm super classy today, so I'm speaking with an accent.
we have some What You've Been Playing, a middle segment about Cause We Need Fun, or What's Fun Humans, whatever.
World needs fun.
It's called What's Fun Humans, but well, I'll let Traptical explain it. It was his idea. And we got some news. So, let's see, what you've been playing. Still playing Axion Verge. Made some progress. I have no idea how far I am, but I feel like I am close to the end because there's like this discussion I had with an NPC, and they were all, "You're almost there. Soon. Something, something, thingies, stuff, blah, blah, blah." And they have all these powers, and there's only like one thingy that I can't... Or there's like this thing on the map I can't get around every time I encounter it. I guess I just need like one more power up, and I can get to that stuff or get around that stuff, and then voila, you know, maybe I'll be at the end. Who knows? But that is going along. Oh, also I completed like the circle of weapons because there's like a weapon wheel. Well, there's not a weapon wheel, but like it's a circular, a radial menu as they call it, and then like, you know, there's spots missing. But I didn't know there's spots missing because it just got bigger and bigger as you got more stuff. And then I was like, oh, it makes a circle. That makes sense now that I have all the thingies. At least I think all the thingies. Who knows if I have all the thingies or not? Or weapons. Sorry. It's me talking. Sorry. So, that's that. And then in the Spider-Verse...
All of the thingies.
Hero Realm, I talked about Spider-Man 2 last week, so I finished it. And then this week, Ultimate Spider-Man, which I had not finished before. I had played it before. I had made progress before. But this time, not only did I make it farther than I ever farthered. Make it farther than I ever made it before. I finished the game.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
I guess.
So I finished it. So that's automatic backlog progress, because like on the backlog it's like, oh, played it, haven't finished it. So, you know, another one bites the dust. It was good stuff. I wouldn't say it's weird compared to Spider-Man 2, because it's like, you know, as far as like the web swinging, I would say it's not as good because it's super easy mode of just like hold R2 and you automatically just swing, and then you do like L2 R2 to do like your little zip thingy, but that's like the two moves you have.
Does he do that weird thing where he's like swinging from the air because there's like no actual buildings for him to be swinging from, but somehow he still manages to do so?
No, it usually anchors you to like a building or like to some structure when you're doing it.
He did that all the time in a cartoon, and it was just like so weird.
But like web slinging, I would say Spider-Man 2 takes the edge. And then in like the combat, it doesn't seem as, it's not as like in depth, so you don't really have the moves. I would say I like Spider-Man 2's combat more just because there's more stuff, and that like the focus thingy, like when you can slow down stuff, dodge. This one you can like dodge, but it doesn't seem as, I don't know, it's just like not as intuitive. Like I push buttons, but it doesn't feel like I'm like dodging gunshots or dodging stuff. And like when enemies come at me and they attack, I'm just like whatever. And you can like web them, and it's like super OP, and just like web them. And they're like stuck for a long time. You just like well on them.
Come at me, bro. Come at me.
And it's neat, but it's not as good in my opinion. But the story, however, pretty cool because Venom's in it, and there's like this whole thing with the symbiote and stuff goes down. And yeah, it's the Ultimate Universe, so you know, it's got all that weird stuff from like not 616. So it's like, what's going on here? What's this? What's this? Oh,
They
okay.
made it.
So that was cool.
To cure cancer or something.
Yeah.
Oh my. How'd that work out for them?
Not too good, actually. But
Story of their lives.
it was cool.
I don't really know what happened later in the Ultimate Universe. Like, did Venom become a hero like in the regular one?
Briefly.
I don't.
But then he went psycho again and started murdering people.
I read like a Miles Morales issue where like Venom was in it, but it wasn't Venom per se. It was just the symbiote possessing people because they were like still experimenting with it. So it's like I think they were just like using it as a thingy that was like that just like does stuff to people, and then yeah.
And approps.
And it just does its own thing. So yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, there's a lot of cameos from like different characters. Cause like Wolverine's in it, Electro's in it, the Beetle's in it. I mean, sure, it's like
all of the worst
the counterparts, but it's like whatever. It's more of a rogues gallery than in Spider-Man 2, that's for sure. Cause like Spider-Man 2, it's like you have Doc Ock, Rhino, Shocker, and I mean Mysterio's in it for like one arc, but it's like silly. it's whatever, man. It wasn't as utilized. Oh yeah, Johnny Storm's in it too, 'cause you race him. So that was pretty cool. So, yeah.
That's random.
In,
Oh, yeah.
in Ultimate, Johnny Storm's in it. So that was pretty cool because he's like, you know, Human Torch, race me, ha, I can fly. You just swing webs, blah blah blah. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to race. And you race.
It's like, I mean, I sure have a city to save, but this seems like a productive use of my time and powers.
That's how they are. How they lose uncles. Oh, too soon.
Oh.
Sorry. Darkest timeline.
Oh, too dark.
And then
We don't usually get R-rated until like later in the show.
and then I have like some other race I can race them, but then whatever. There's a bunch of stuff to unlock. It looks like there's a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff too, and I have like the limited edition, but I have like no idea what it gives you besides like some behind the scenes stuff. So that's neat. There's another plan I was gonna make. Oh yeah, the whole play as Venom thing. That's cool though. Like you can just play as Venom. He plays completely different, and then once you finish the game, you can just like switch back and forth anytime, kind of like in Arkham City. So that's pretty cool that they did that. Before Arkham City, it's like, oh, you have two protagonists, and I don't know. I mean, story switches back and forth, so it's kind of not paced very well. So it's kind of weird. It's just like transitions, and it just doesn't really feel as smooth as it should be. But you know, I did enjoy it. So you know, that's the Spider-Man report, and I was going to try to play some Arkham Origins, but my PC was like, cannot stream. Sorry, Tekken.
Cannot Steam.
We're not going to let you stream while you play, and we know you want to stream, but not going to let it happen, so I might just play the PS3 version. It's whatever. I've already played it on both, so it's not like it matters. Just wanted to, you know, go through the list of hero games, because we are in a time when we need heroes, but, you know, that's a whole can of worms and stuff.
Well, they might not be the heroes we deserve.
What? No. There are no heroes. We're
No
still
more
waiting.
heroes?
No more heroes.
Holding up for a hero to the end of time!
Okay. But yeah, that's like the theme I was going with on my channel this month was heroes, so they're superheroes.
We need a hero! Hero!
So now the Spider-Man games are done, I'm going to go through the Arkham anthology, and then if I finish all that, finally play some X-Men Destiny.
In Arkham Knight?
Because I have it. Yes, even Arkham Knight, 'cause it's short, and I mean...
We need a hero!
Hero!
I'm holding up for a hero!
It deserves that last, you know, judgment of
But
like,
you
was it
said
really
you
that
didn't
bad?
like it.
And then I can be like, yeah, I'm never playing this game again, and then just like, you know, blacklist it, and like, why Rocksteady, why? Why'd you do this to me? Why'd you do it to all of us? Besides...
I still liked it.
Well, you like everything, so that doesn't really count.
Aw, I am invalidated. Wait, is validated and invalidated the same as flammable and
No,
inflammable?
those are actually different. You used it correctly.
Hooray! Aw.
So besides that, I've been playing some Sonic Mania today because it came out.
No.
And I like first I was like, yeah, whatever, not gonna buy it. But then I was like, oh, I do like the 2D one more. Who knows when we're gonna get like another one because it's Sega, so you know. Yeah, they can do sometimes. And pretty good stuff, I gotta say. I wasn't sure what to expect because you know it's Sega, so it's like it could be anything. And it was like
Well, they weren't the
fan
ones who
thingy,
developed it, so
I think so. It's like also who knows, but pretty good stuff. It was basically like a best of Sonic 2D edition. I did finish it too, by the way, so it's like not very long. I think I started playing like afternoon, so it's like 1, 2. It's like 7 now, so it's like 6 hours, 6ish hours. So
You finished it?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, surprised too. But yeah, it was.
Can you like turn into Supersonic and all that fun stuff?
Probably if you get all the Chaos Emeralds, because there's like I finished it, but then it was like try again at the end after the credits rolled, and it had like 3 or 4 the emeralds I got, but because I didn't get all of them or enough to like get the giant one, to, like, and when you combine them.
What is with Sonic and jewelry? I mean, for somebody who wants to go fast, unless he's like going fast to go rob banks or something. I mean, I guess that would make sense then.
But I did thoroughly enjoy it because like the music was there, and it was like basically, I don't know. It seems like each stage has like two themes, or some have like two. Some are just like remixes or like reinterpretations, but it's like the same like style of like whatever the song was, but just like better. Also, because it's like more modern technology in the audio. So it's like, oh, this is that song, but it's I like this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, does it have that labyrinth zone in it? The one that's like do 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 do.
I don't think
That
it
one?
has that stage. It's also weird because like
Sad.
like the stages it like pulls basically like a best of and like has like just like a cornucopia of like Sonic stages. So it's not really like a bunch of new material here. It's just I mean there is like some new stages, but it's like mostly stuff that you've seen before, and it's like, oh, okay, that's weird, but whatever. But there's a lot of it, and I was like, oh, I have no idea how long this game is, and I just kept playing, and that was done. And I was like, oh, that was cool. So, I think there's like some versus mode too, but I have no idea how it works. I was like, whatever. I don't play
Tails in the game?
Tails is in the game, yes. So it was not.
Is it online or
I don't
just
think so, because
local?
I tried to use it, and then it just said waiting, and I was like, does it want me to connect to the controller, or is it trying to connect? It doesn't say connecting, it just says waiting. So I was like, I don't think this is matchmaking. So
Oh, because it's his catchphrase. Remember when he's like, "I'm waiting," and everybody's like, "Shut up, Sonic."
and maybe you could share play it. I don't know, but yeah.
We do like to share play things.
There is another.
SharePlay is great.
There's some other mode
It is.
that you unlock.
It really is.
Oh, yeah, it's like time trial, so it's like a speed thingy. Just like try to do it as fast as you can each stage. So that was neat. Kind of tried that. The bonus stages, there's like it has like the one from Sonic 3 in it, where it's got like the little orbs or spheres that like are blue and they turn red when you grab them. I kept effing up on them. It's like, man.
That is my least favorite version of those because it's like I like the one where you like go around the little half pipe thing and get the rings and stuff.
Sonic
But,
2, that's a fun
my
one.
special stage is down is so annoying because you have to like jump over stuff and then you're just like, oh wait, did I already turn this one red? And you have to like
speeding up and
figure
it
out
gets harder and
the.
harder, and it's like, dude, that kept throwing me off. I was like, whatever.
I think that's the only one I've ever been able to get all the gems in. I've never been able to do the half pipe one.
Really? That
Yeah.
was like the easier one.
And there's also like a new one where it's like you have to catch this UFO that has a gym, and then you have like a bunch of stuff on a course. It's kind of like a race course, and it's kind of like it uses the orb thingies. So it's like you get the orbs, and it fills your speed meter and it speeds up. And if you keep putting orbs in it, it just goes faster and faster and faster. But then you have to get rings because it counts down in time. You only have a certain amount of time. And then once you run out of rings, you're out of time. And it's like, oh no, you didn't catch the UFO unless you do catch it. And it's like, yeah, you caught the UFO. And that's how you get like the actual. That's how you get the actual casting rolls. And the other one is just for the unlocks on this extra stuff. Because like I noticed in the options menu, there's like a bunch of. Because like, when you clear it, you get like this emblem thingy. And I was like, what is this? It doesn't tell you. But you go to like the options menu, there's like just like a ton of them on the side. I'm like, oh, I guess when you get all of them, you unlock something or something. Whatever. So I don't know. There's a lot of them, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna not do this for a while, so I have no idea what this will do. But yeah, I did enjoy it. It was definitely worth the $20, and if you're a Sonic fan, you will have a fun time. And that
I don't believe you.
is all I've been playing.
Well,
I'm totally not bitter at all.
I'm hearing a ton of good things about Sonic Mania. I'm
No, you're
actually sad that I didn't get it today.
Oh,
Release day
also,
delivery
it has
failed
the,
me.
It has the thingy from the thingy, the other stuff that you can get out of the item boxes from Sonic 3, where you could get like the flame or the water bubble or the
Bubble
lightning,
shield and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can like get all the different attributes for the power-ups. That was pretty cool. 'Cause, like,
Tekken, stop making me want to get this game.
People have been calling it like the sequel to Sonic 3 that
We didn't
like
get.
we never got.
Yep.
I loved Sonic 3 though.
Oh,
Especially
also,
when you
I
could like
think-
attach Knuckles to it.
I
It was
think
so cool.
I think you have to like unlock some stuff. Like I think it might be like a time-based thing, but I'm not sure because I just kept playing. Because every time I was like when I first played and I got like a game over and it sent me back to the main menu, it's like you've unlocked this, this, and this. So I don't think you actually have to finish the game to get Knuckles. I think you probably just like get him over time when you have acquired enough time or whatever to unlock it. Because I went back after I went back to the main menu after I finished the game. It's like you've unlocked Knuckles, you've unlocked this thingy, you've unlocked this thingy. And I was like, oh, so maybe just keep unlocking stuff. But yeah, since I've only played like, or I've only like had that happen twice. So I'm not sure if like there's more beyond that, but there probably is.
Cool. Is it hard? Well, did you think the old Sonic games were hard?
Okay, I didn't think the old Sonic games were hard because I was having fun as a child. But playing this, I was like, this is kind of hard.
It's like, was I out?
It's so hard. I was like, what happened to me? Like I used to like be so much better at these, and like now I was at like this one, I was like kind of getting. I mean, not all the time, but like there's some sections where it's just like, ugh, where it's just like, man, this is a bit hard here.
I don't know, because I played, now that I think about it, because I played, well,
I
Sonic
wouldn't say
2,
it was
I played
hard, I would just say it was challenging on this one. Because you can't get through it, because I got through it, so whatever. I wouldn't say I'm like such an expert Sonic player, because I never finished, or not that I never finished, but like I would always get to like the final boss on 2 and like not be able to beat the giant mech thingy because I didn't know what to do. And then Metal Sonic would always kill me too, because I was like, what the F, man, these patterns are crazy. And Sonic 3, same thing, because it's like a giant weird thingy at the end of like cone-shaped boss. I was like, I don't know what to do here. I was too young at the time, okay, and like I hadn't had a chance to go back and exact my revenge on Robotnik, so I think I earned this one. I was like, you know, I redeemed myself from like when I was a younger Tekken, and I just didn't know what I was doing all the time. So yeah.
When I was a young warthog. It's a little Lion King for ya.
Coming out August 29th on Blu-ray. Woohoo! Should we give money for that? We should get money for that.
We should get money.
Yeah, like the 3D
that was
Sonics,
totally like an advertisement.
I would say the 3D songs are for sure easier because I finished both of those, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. So, yeah. I mean, one's weird because you play so many different characters throughout the thingy, and like by the time you get to the Alpha Water, whatever it's called, whatever it's like called, like weird number, like they call it like 0 Alpha something something, because it's like a test subject and it grows into like a giant water monster. It's weird. And then the second one is like boss fight with Shadow, and it's like, oh, whatever. Mechanics are way better, so or not better, but like, you know, different and easy because they're modern time. So yeah, not too bad, not so bad. And I haven't played any like the stuff after that because you know that was like the bad time for Sonic. Sonic wasn't doing too well, so you know, there's a very long darkest timeline for Sonic where there's just weren't a lot of good Sonic games. And it's like, yeah, I didn't play them. So unless we're like, and then Sonic Advance, I didn't get a chance to play those because I didn't have a Game Boy Advance for a long time. And then, you know, Game Boy Advance or just handheld games in general just go. I mean, that was like before, you know, digital games, so it's like it's out of print now, so I can't just go back and play it. So you know, unless it's on the eShop eventually. So get on that, Nintendo, please. That'd be great. Or Sega, whatever. Oh.
I
think until Sonic Generations, I hadn't played a Sonic game. I think, well, they had like the Sonic 3 and 4 or whatever it's called, but I like bought them, but I didn't like really play them. I just like booted them up to be like, yep, that's good old Sonic, and then yeah.
Did you play Sonic 4 Episode 1?
Oh, that's what it was, Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2. I think I bought them, but the second one I know the second one for sure I own it, but I haven't played the first one. I think I played a bit, but I didn't really like give it an in-depth like go through because I was just like playing other stuff at the time.
I don't know, cause like
then Sonic Generations came and I was like, oh man, there's still hope. There's still life in this franchise. It's not the end. Cause man,
well, I mean,
Sonic
Generations,
that's awesome.
But Colors was good too, though.
Yeah,
it was an interesting play style.
That one was on Wii?
It was on the Wii, yeah. So it didn't get the love it deserved, but...
I think I got that one later.
It was fun. I did enjoy it.
Well, I'll start off with something retro modern. They released StarCraft Remastered on Monday, and I was really looking forward to it. I was like, okay, you know, I like this when they remake old games so that we can get, especially if they have stories, because I want to be able to play the story mode, but on my current day PC. And yeah, so I was like, yeah, that's what this is going to be. This is awesome. And then I got it and started playing it. It's like, wow, this StarCraft 1 is a lot more crotchety than I thought it was. The animations are just, there's very few frames of everything, and it just feels far less responsive than StarCraft 2. So it was jarring. I was just like, wow, this is what we played back in the day? That's crazy.
I think it's always like that when you go back to an old game that you haven't played in a while, and it's just like, huh,
I mean,
this was not
sometimes.
amazing.
Like, I was playing, actually busted out the PS2, and I was playing, like, not Enter the Matrix, the second one, Matrix Path of Neo. And that one, like, is how I remember it. It's like, picture quality is poor, and but you know, as far as like playability and like what I thought was cool about it, it's like, yeah, that stuff is still there.
Yeah, I had that happen when I was playing Spider-Man, because it's like, you know, the character models compared to the today's character models, I'm just like, this is a bit rough. It's like, it's not as bad as PS1 game, but you go back and it's like, PS2, kind of like all those things I already said about PS2. It's like, not good to age well, because they're trying to do realistic graphics, but it just wasn't up there.
Yep. Yeah, like, I wasn't sure what they meant entirely by remastered, because they said, it's like, oh yeah, remastered, it's gonna be, you know, 4K. And I was like, oh man, 4K? And I got it. I don't have a 4K monitor. It's just a 4K, or 1080p one. And yeah, it's definitely clearer, because I've tried to play Diablo 2 on this thing, and it doesn't look like this. It's very clearly standard definition. And this one is like, okay, yeah, it's clearer, but man, like, everything looks really dated. Super clear, very dated. And it's a lot easier than I remember too. I remember it being like, I was playing that mission. There's a mission in the beginning where you just have to survive for 30 minutes. And my recollection is that there is a giant, like, mob of Zerg that you fight at the end. And it's just like, there's a ton of them and you gotta kill them all. Or you don't have to kill them all. Usually they kill you, or most everything, and you're just like running away at the very last moment. You're just like, oh, I hope we survive. And then the timer runs out and you do survive and you're like, yay. Yeah, that's not what it was. I barely registered that anyone had attacked us, because it was just, the attacking force was so small. That they never, I don't think they destroyed one building because I built it in a stupid place. But that was it. It was just like, that was it? It was like, that was way easier than I remember. So yeah, StarCraft Remastered is very different than I expected. Although, not bad. I mean, I am getting what I wanted, which is being able to play this on my current day PC. So, yay.
Yay.
Other than that, I think I just played Paragon this week.
New Paragon!
Paragon. Oh, it has been exhausting in Paragon, because the changes are vast, and it means, so remember when we talked about MOBAs as being like, they're basically fighting games, and that's why it's helpful to know a little about every character, because eventually you're gonna have to fight against them. Well, it used to be there was however many characters, and that was kind of what you needed to learn. You just learn, it's like, okay, you know, this character has these few abilities, and then you do that for, I think there's like 30-something characters right now, so you do that for all of them. And that is simple in comparison to now, whereas it seems to matter less what the character is, and more about what they've done with them. Your opponents, as far as like cards. So for example, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, was it?
Yeah.
Had that gem system where it would like change certain attributes and stuff like that. It's kind of like that, except way more drastic. Some of the cards you can get drastically change the characters. And so now when you're in battle, it's like essentially now it's like instead of just having to know the characters, now you have to know the characters and all the cards. And there's something like almost 100 cards. I think it's like 96 of them or something. And
I think
you
it's
got
more
no.
than that.
Oh, is it? There's like 24
because there's 24 of each one, and there's 5.
There's 5 of them, right?
5 categories.
So yeah, a lot to know. And it is making me crazy. There's just like so much stuff to know, and I think what it is you can actually make. So in the previous version, all you had to do was sort of equip better and better equipment. Or no, it wasn't that. You just like had your equipment, and then you just built on top of your equipment throughout the course of the game until you were super powerful. And now it's like you need good equipment in the beginning, but because you can only have 3 things equipped, eventually you will need to let those things go so that you can get better equipment later and not just be overpowered by the opponent at the end when they have, they have better stuff than you.
You basically have to think of the long term, the short term, and the mid term.
Yep.
Which does make things a bit more complicated.
Makes it very complicated. And yeah, like before, when you just kept building on top of what you had, you couldn't really mess yourself up. Now you can really mess yourself up. If you have just like only built for the late game, then you can never get to the late game because it takes you so long to get there. You need to build some early game stuff so that you can get to the late game, and then maybe you get to use those things. The game progresses really much faster than it did pre-patch. You get to around 20 minutes and you're scrambling. It's like if you're doing poorly, like you're doing really poorly by 20 minutes.
Yeah, because the new system is like, well, it's not just the cards too, because now we have to buy attribute points for the characters as well in order to even use the cards. So when you like part of what you're saying with like the whole mid and late game and stuff is like you have to buy a certain number of attribute points in order to use certain cards. So if you don't plan it out, you can have cards that you have not enough points to actually purchase them eventually, because it's like you only have a set number of cards or a set number of points that you can buy in each attribute. I think it's like 25 each or something like that.
I messed that up a bunch of times.
Tropical always had fun with, because he would load his deck up with cards that require like too many from the same attribute, and then you can never use them all because, well, that's what happens.
I have 2 13-point cards, so that's 26, and you can buy 25 total. I was like, oops.
So it's like
I've messed up a lot.
Screw yourself up there. So you kind of have to like plan, like even before you like even just building the decks, you have to like plan in advance now. It's just like, well, am I going to do this maybe with this character later? Am I going to do this? And now since you can use any deck with any character, because in the previous one you had to like stick to their affinities for the cards, but now it's like you could just make any deck and use it for anybody that you have. So you kind of have to be... So then you can kind of like play them like all kinds of different ways than you probably could before, because now you have the cards that can affect their abilities and everything. And
like that aspect I think is really cool. It's just that it makes, there's just so many more variables now, because yes, it's cool that I can do it, but that also means that everyone can.
Yeah. So now you're trying to continue
like, how do
all
you
that.
plan for all of these random things that can happen?
because they even tried to, like, when they did it, I mean, I guess they tried to account for certain things with characters, but then people always find a workaround to everything. Kind of like with there was one character that was an issue because he could just run into structures and destroy them because of his clones. So so they nerfed his damage against structures. But the problem is, with the new system, he can just, whoever's playing him can just buy a bunch of attack speed, and then pretty much negate the fact that he's not doing as much damage because he's just like hitting so. He's just hitting it so many times, kind of thing. So it's yeah, it makes things a bit difficult when people can find workarounds or anything, because it's like there's always loopholes in the system when you allow the system to work for you. So yeah, it's made things a lot more chaotic, and to say the least.
Chaotic. But yeah, it's driving me crazy because, like, I don't know exactly. Maybe it's that competitiveness, but not discouraged part of me. So it's in one way it's like super frustrating because we have lost so many games since the new patch came out. We barely win, and it reminds me of when I first started playing Paragon and how it took something like, what was it, 10 hours or something for me to start to realize, oh, this is how you win games. And yeah, here we are back again. It's like,
because like basically people have to relearn everything all over again. So it's
like the first 2 days were just, I don't know what I'm doing at all. But I don't want to study it because that's not fun. I'm just gonna like throw together random things and see what works and see what doesn't. And it's like banging your head against the wall until it goes through.
I don't recommend that.
It's like, yeah, it's tough. And then I got to a point where it's like, oh, I sort of know, I don't know the answers, but I sort of know what questions to ask now. And that's where I've been. I'm like, I haven't found the answers, but I'm like in the search phase where I know the things that I don't know. Whereas before I was just like, I don't know anything. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Paragon. The other part of Paragon is what I've not been playing, which is like tons of stuff that I want to play, but I just don't. I'm too absorbed by this right now. I was like, no, I want to know. I want to know.
Because you have to learn everything.
Yeah, there's like a ton of VR things coming, and VR thing like super hot all those weeks ago. Haven't touched it yet. Ridiculous. And yeah, everything I wanted to play last week: Lawbreakers, Hellblade, and Batman: Enemy Within.
All of the
None
things
of them
came out. All of the things.
None of them.
It's only going to get worse, Optical.
I know, it's piling up, and I want to play Madden. Like, that's just another game that I want to play that you guys don't want to play. So that's like another one on my list, which is already a larger list than a sane person would gather. Basically. And I'm not playing any of them. I'm just sitting here trying to beat knowledge into my head.
He doesn't believe in reading.
I refer to this as game learning, or before games. Although I guess there was never a before games, but it was like apprenticeship style. You learned by doing, and you didn't, read tons of text and then execute. I'm just like skimming it, and it's like, all right, let's just do it. What the stakes are low. It's a game. But yeah, it's been any. I think most other people may have quit. I think that's what's happening. Actually, I made the mistake of looking in the forums earlier today, and it's just like tons of complaining. It's like, you ruined the game. It's totally broken. These characters are totally broken. And then other people saying they're fine. You just have to learn how to play them. And
Well, I mean, like I said, the new system does allow for some abuse because, I mean, of the way it's set up. So I'm guessing soon enough they'll rebalance everything again. Because I mean, there were some broken characters in the previous version, but they rebalanced everything, made it not ridiculous, and then we managed. And the game is still in beta, so that's kind of part of the point of all of this. So there's probably going to be another drastic change later on down the line, and we'll have to relearn Paragon all over again. So people just need to build a bridge and get the hell over it. 'Cause it's the way it works. Because video games.
I do really enjoy like the crazy combinations you can do.
Yeah, just like I'm very curious to see what more or other cards come down the line, because I mean, even with like what we have now, which is still a lot of stuff, it's like I can only imagine what they're planning on adding later, and it's going to get all ridiculous with the abilities and stuff, and people just going to be, it's going to be scary, man. It's going to be scary. But I guess thankfully that's probably why they limited it to 3 cards per hand, to make sure you don't have like some kind of weird like tank that explodes in ice and something.
This combination lets me do all of the things.
Basically, it's like I am all of the characters now. I can all kill into a frozen tundra. It's like this is overpowered. I don't approve. But yeah, should be fun though. Should be fun. And anyone who doesn't like it sucks. Is my response to that. But yeah, I'm expecting some character rebalancing in the near future, because there are some characters now that are kind of a touch overpowered if when built. So
we came up with this theory earlier today. It was like, why do we keep getting matched up with like people who don't seem very good? And that's like saying it politely. And then they just like immediately want to surrender. And our theory is maybe they've seen our record on surrender votes, and they're just like, if we want people to learn how to play this game, they should play with these guys who never surrender.
So it's kind of like backfired on us, because now they're like, what?
If they never surrender, then those people, like, they get a chance to practice. Whereas if they always surrender, then they never get to practice.
And they will never get good. So we have been forced into the teacher role because of our unwillingness to quit. So that is our lives.
It's not that we're good. It's just that we don't quit. Which, naturally extends your playtime. And how do you learn? Game learning? Play!
Beating your head against a wall until knowledge gets in. Even if it's in the literal sense.
Yep.
America.
I just thought of some stuff I was playing that I forgot to talk about.
You played more stuff and you forgot?
Well, I didn't play for very long because I wanted to play Batman, and I was like, well, I want to play Batman. And I'm also doing this thing on my channel where I'm trying to play like something every day, and it's like, I didn't want to like disrupt the balance. I was like, I gotta play something. Batman, you let me down. And I was like, well, I guess I play some Wipeout. Omega Collection, so I played that, and I forgot how good it looks. It still looks effing amazing. So if you're into Wipeout, check it out. Because man, any game that gets, and that just gives me like a theory of like any game that has like a 4K version, it probably just like looks even better than like any game, just because like I'm looking at it and I'm like, this looks really good, and then like in my brain I'm like, it must look amazing in 4K, but that's like ways off. Like that's like years off for me. So I'm just like, whatever. Like it looks good enough in 1080p. Then like I remember.
Do you know what has 4K that you have also? Sonic Mania.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It has PS4 Pro support, and it's in 4K.
Why?
Yeah, that's weird.
Because the 4K is amazing. Apparently.
It makes crisper.
It's 2D sprites.
Right? I don't.
Yeah, like the pixels map. Like, you know how it works, right? If the reason that a 720 image looks blurry on a 1080 screen is because the pixels don't match the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, some of the pixels are sort of interpolated from the surrounding colors. It's like, oh, this one here is this color, and this one here is this color. So if we have to put one in the middle, well, I mean, that's the other way around, but it would, like, it has to guess on some of the colors, so it's sort of muddy. But if it's the same number of pixels on the screen as is being pushed out by the source, then they're just like every color was the intended color in its intended square. And so if you do a 4K version, then it's like that many more pixels, and they're all perfectly mapped to where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
See? Yeah? Good.
It totally makes sense.
Um,
Totally makes
Yeah, I was
sense.
gonna say like the Parappa, that one looks like super crisp, and I'm like, this looks like way better than the PSP or PS1 version, so it's like just bananas. And so like, yeah, it just has that effect where it's like any game I play. Well, I mean like not any game, because I mean that's like the other can of worms as far as like PS4 is like all the games like don't like look fine, like none of them look terrible. It's like that's like the whole like thing about like you don't really need 4K, because it's like I don't know who's looking at this. It's like this doesn't look good, because it's like whatever graphics were. Let's not get into that. So unless you're just like all about the graphics, like oh 4K 4K, oh I need the 4K, oh whatever. But man, games in the now time look amazing. And then I also played let's see, what did I play besides that? I played Destiny, but it's like, if that game is whatever. I'm just playing it because I'm a glutton for punishment at this point. It's like whatever, I got stuff to do. I want to get it all done and be like, I walked away from the mountain, or but I got to send my guardians off in style in their ships when they go into the sun, and they're like
That sounds dangerous.
They're forever memorialized. Watching
They're going to be killed in the attack.
The solar system. Let's see. So Disney, Wipeout, and there's something else. I can't remember what it was now. Curses. But yeah, there's like a third game. I'll figure it out when I or not. There was a third game, right? There might not have been a third game because it's Batman. Wait, no, it wasn't Batman. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Too much Batman. Too much Batman. Wipeout, Destiny, and something else. I'm trying to look it up real quick. Mass Effect Andromeda, Apex missions. There you go. I've been playing those every week. So yeah, that's the three. So yeah. Continue on.
So wait, did you not? Did you ever finish Hellblade?
No, I did not. I didn't go back to it because I was like, so oh, I got stuck in the thingy. Ha 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 ha. Whatever. So yeah. I mean, I'm going to go back to it after the podcast, but after I got stuck on a thing to open a door, and I was like, whatever.
His old nemesis meets
like,
again.
I can't help it that there's like glyphs in the game you have to like find to open the next thing. It's like, what is that? Like, whatever.
Oh yeah, I saw that
They should
in
just,
like
like,
their little
Just like cut that out.
trailer
and,
thingy.
Like, it made it just whatever.
Well, I think it's part of the whole mental
I
illness thing.
know we went over this last week, but it's just why? Could have been like any other mechanic that was like super easy to do, but they had to hide stuff in the levels of like, where's the symbol? Do you find it? Blue's Clues. Do you see it? No? Whatever.
We just took it for Blue's Clues, and it's really fun. Not. And that's why he turned to drinking and drugs. And they had to replace him.
Is that all you've been playing Tropical?
Yep.
Okay, what have you been playing RPG?
Lots of Paragon because of Troptical. It's all his fault. Actually, it's all Epic's fault because they revamped his game, so we had to like spend all this time relearning it and everything. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not angry about it at all. I'm not angry at all. But yeah, I've been having fun. So there's that. I also played a little bit of the Children of the Violent Murder Peoples. So that's been going fun. Because like it's like something about Zodiac killers or something. I don't know. There's stuff involved,
Children
and they
of
do
the Zodiac Killer.
and they do kill things. So I mean, in all fairness, it's not inaccurate. But yeah, they introduced this these side missions after I was playing like more of it last week or whatever. They introduced some side missions that kind of like focused on the guy that betrayed the group. So it seems like that might be like an actual like thing going forward, which would be kind of cool. Because then you kind of get like another group of characters that you can play that you kind of play through the game with. So that should be fun to do. But although you can't like alter their decks or dice or anything, so I think it's just gonna be relegated to the whole side mission thing and just be that. So it's one of those just play and enjoy kind of situations, like in the main story when they switch you over to like the boss leader guy and you kind of play through his whatever's going on with him at the time. But that only happened once. But yeah. Kind of cool. So the side missions are kind of more of like an ongoing thing, I guess, to show his side of why he's doing what he's doing, but he's still a traitor. So he's lucky I'm not one of the Zodiac killers, because otherwise be hell to pay, man. Be hell to pay. But yeah, that's actually pretty much all I've been playing outside of Paragon. So it's been a pretty light gaming week in a sense of variety. But it's fine because I've been enjoying it.
It's been hours and hours.
You guys said you played that one game, and is it on the Switch? Does RPG have a Switch?
You talking about what, Overcooked?
Yeah.
No, that's on the PS4.
Oh, okay, because I was looking at the thingy when I was looking up an image for it, and I was like, it was like Switch version. I was like, RPG has a Switch? No way.
It just recently got ported, I think, or something.
Yeah.
I was like super confused.
Everyone's excited. Although I guess the port wasn't that good, so
oh no,
less excited than maybe they would have been.
Middle segment, yay!
Yes, let's talk about the middle segment. The middle segment this week, because the Darkest Timeline does things to your brain, and it's hard to come up with stuff. So the middle segment I came up with is called "What's Fun, Humans?" Because we need fun.
You need fun.
Yeah, we just need like cool stuff. And that's what it's about. I mean, if it was limited to games, it would just be another what's your favorite game? That type of thing. But no, we're going to not limit it to games because we actually do a lot of other stuff. Do we? Maybe? Kind of?
Tekken doesn't, just saying.
We do stuff that we enjoy as well.
Tekken's life is like wake up, go to the bathroom, get on the internet, check Facebook, check social media, get ready for work, go to work, do work, come home, watch the news or play game, and that's like watch and repeat.
Get depressed because of said news.
Also put a bit of checking social media on phone at work or playing whatever. And then at home at my options before I go to sleep, it's like check social media. I only check it like when I wake up and like when I get home from work. And then like when I'm home from work, it's like play game, watch Netflix, watch a documentary on Netflix, watch YouTube videos, and that's like
Netflix.
that's like it. It's like not a very eventful life for Tekken at this point, but it's whatever, dude. Just trying to survive, because it's tough out there for Tekken, as we like to talk. Like, I'm just saying, now you know why, because
Because it's hard out there.
I don't like going on, but it's like I can't take many risks. It's a dangerous world we live in, so just saying. So yeah, just trying to hold it down before maple syrup time, and then I will be happy, or I mean happier, because I'm not happy. I'm just these
You're
are my
happy?
circumstances. Oh, also I eat because I got to eat to live. 'Cause you can't like just not eat or you die. So yeah. So I mean,
yes.
Well, I mean, I guess that's like one of the things that I do after I wake up is like breakfast, and then like when I'm at work, eat lunch, and then I come home, I eat too. I mean, that was like a basic bare bones stuff I do. It's like there's like more in there, but it's not like super. Oh man, that's so eventful in your life.
He doesn't go like jet skiing and all of that nonsense. The huge.
But yeah, I mean,
Well-
I might read a comic book here or there on Comixology. There's stuff I do. It's just not all the time. Like right now, it's just focusing on doing games because I like games the most of anything. Asterisk, there's like this person out there. I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast. It's weird. Whatever. I mean, it's personal. It's not weird, but it's like whatever. So yeah.
Tell us everything.
Kind of in between stages, and I don't want to jinx it, so I don't want to talk about it. So there you go.
Jinx it.
Continue, Tropical. Let's have fun talking about fun things or whatever.
Yeah, well, for example, like usually after the podcast, we start talking about all the cool stuff that's happening in Marvel World.
Yes. Ooh, which reminds me, Defenders is this
I
weekend,
know,
guys.
Defenders is this weekend.
Get excited or else.
I'm already excited. Oh man.
Did you already finish all of the?
Oh, I
series,
finally,
Tekken?
I finally
I
finished
did. I binged
Iron Fist, guys. I finally finished that garbage. So
Yay!
took me. I had to watch an episode a day because I can't watch more than that and still be sane. But it happened. It happened. So I saw that. But continue.
So you basically, I said, "How about them Defenders?" And you were like, "Oh yeah." Continue.
The Defenders is going to be fun, but Wait, are we gonna actually?
Did either of you ever see Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Nope.
I have not seen it yet.
I was thinking
Oh.
about it after I played the Spider-Man game, so I was like, sorry, Spider-Man, you're just F you. Sorry.
So, there was
You're
kind of
not
a cool
mutant, you're not an
story.
Avenger. I could care less.
I mean, technically, he is a mutant, isn't he? I forget how it
He
works.
is.
with
It's
that.
not a mutant.
No, he's not. It's not genetic, dude. He got bit by a spider. That's not how that works, RPG. You are
Yeah, but
born
from my
with the X
understanding,
gene.
no, because
I mean,
remember,
he mutates
like,
later on, but like current. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm probably.
no,
I'm
'cause they
sure
were-
in the MCU that probably isn't like not how it goes down. I'm just saying.
well, obviously not, because there's no mutants in the
And
MCU.
I'm
but
talking
he's
about
like,
MCU. I'm not talking about in the cartoon.
Well, no, but I meant,
in the
like-
comics.
but I meant like, because I was about to
Actually,
say, I
it's funny
thought
because in Ultimate Spider-Man, someone said something about like being a mutant when he's like climbing up to like save them, and he's like, "Hey, mutants are people too." I thought that was so funny.
because he, but from my understanding,
Then
it's
I
like,
was
the
sad.
bite
'Cause I was
actually
like, "Oh, there's mutants in
unlocked,
Ultimate Spider-Man, but there won't be any mutants in PS4 Spider-Man." Oh, sad face. Whatever.
there could be, you don't know.
I'm like 90% sure it's not gonna happen, dude. Just saying.
They can do it if they want to. It's a video game. But they, from my understanding, I thought the bite it just unlocked his latent gene. It wasn't that he wasn't a mutant. It's just that it was like not active until the bite thing. So he is technically one, I think.
I'm pretty
Really?
sure.
When was that
if
added?
you look that up now, that's like probably not gonna be the case post Secret Wars because they're just like clean it
Oh,
all
okay.
up. F the mutants.
Oh yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting they do like
It's all about the Inhumans
stuff
now.
like that. The Inhumans, the poor man's X-Men.
That's why Kamala's not a mutant. It's like, nope, she's an Inhuman. They stole Miss Marvel from us. Whatever.
Sad.
I almost completely forgot what we were talking about, but then I was like, that's right, Tropical brought up.
Oh well, I don't. He never like
Spider-Man.
actually explained the the question though. We just started
not a
talking about
question.
random stuff.
It's just like, exactly. It's about other fun, random stuff that we have fun with. That isn't games.
But you need to explain it so the guests, when the listeners are listening, they're like, "Oh, so this is what's happening." They're not just being their normal random selves.
What you just heard, that's what this is.
You're welcome, listeners. Welcome to Aimless.
What you just heard, that's what this is.
Welcome to Earth.
It's like, how about them Defenders? And everyone's like, oh yeah, Defenders. And then, anyone seen Spider-Man? Nope. Well.
Since we're doing this, then let's talk Marvel then for the first part of this segment. And talk about the Defenders while we're at it. Because I did, like I said, I finally saw Iron Fist. Well, kind of anyway. Most of it was just using the episodes as background noise because makes sense. But I don't know if I liked that show or not, because it seemed like they tried to do a lot of things that they did with the other shows, but since they tried to cram it all into one show, it didn't get executed properly, so it kind of came off all weird, like the whole killing off one of the villains early on, even though he does come back, and then like the betrayal thing was from like the closest friend thing or whatever, and all the other stuff going on. It was just like, it just seems like they tried to cram so much stuff in there that some stuff got lost in the ether, so to speak, because they didn't get a chance to like execute it properly, or they just thought that since everybody loved these particular items that we just add them all and hope for the best. But it wasn't good, guys. It wasn't good. I didn't like it.
I loved Iron Fist. I loved the whole family dysfunction drama. I was just like, oh, I couldn't get enough of that. And it just like kept building. It kept building. It never stopped. It never stopped. You got a certain part away. Stuff went down, and you're like, oh, he just did that, and he just did that. But then that thing happened, and you're like, what? And they're like, no way. And it's like it kept going, and then it kept going after that. It's like, oh man, how's it going to go? How's it going down? And they got to the final episode, and it's like, oh man, it's still going down. Or then it's like, you know, because like Danny was all like, but I trust you still. But then stuff happened, and it's like, you should have never trusted them. No. And it's like, oh, that was great. That was great. It's just like delicious to me. I was like, I can't get enough. It's like so good.
I didn't enjoy it. The acting was kind of subpar, and I think the fight scenes were not great.
I was
especially considering it was a martial
fight scenes.
It was a martial arts show, but everything was just
this is
like
the martial arts one. Why is the fighting not super amazing?
Because a lot of it was like really stiff, and like it wasn't as flashy as I was expecting for the type of show it was. I'm assuming it was supposed to be, so I just like, this is it.
I agree. The fights weren't as good, but I still enjoyed it. Especially like the part with the drunken boxing boss fight, because I was like, hey, because I figured out what was going to happen like before it happened, because I was like, after I saw his little junk thing, he was like,
oh yeah, I saw him, when he was sitting down, then, he's like, he's a drunken master, isn't he?
And then he's like, yeah,
but he was,
and it's like, oh, he's guarding the door, isn't he? And it's like, he is, and it's like, oh, fight's going to happen, and it did, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, I enjoyed that. Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, it's okay.
Apparently, that guy had been considered for Danny Rand.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
What could have been, I guess. What could have been.
Because he was like, I don't know how to fight, like, for real.
He's like, I actually don't need training. I already have it.
I've done this before.
I wonder why they didn't go that route then. Because, I mean, they didn't bother casting Jessica to look like her comic book or person thingy.
Yeah, it's weird. I have no idea what Jessica Jones looks like in the comics.
From my understanding, wait, you don't? Yes, you do, because I think she was Miss. Wait, no, that's somebody else. I was like, wait a minute, she looks similar to Ms. Marvel, doesn't she?
Nope.
Does she?
No. I think so, doesn't she?
No.
I've only seen like Jessica Jones comics post Jessica Jones TV series.
Show. Yeah, I was like,
and they look like her.
Interesting. Because I remember initially when they announced the casting, people were complaining because she didn't look like the comic book character. But I was like, I mean, it's like, do you have to look like the character? It could just not be ability over appearance kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I guess that what ended up happening anyway, because it was great. And I mean,
It was so good. Yeah, Defender's coming out this Friday, right?
Let me
So
look at the
soon.
calendar.
it is because it's the 18th.
Yep, that would be correct.
So I'm excited, and it's going to be a fun time because it's going to be all of the snarking and all of the fighting, and also Iron Fist will be there for some reason. It'll be fun. So I'm excited. I am excited. But Friday is my long day, so I probably won't actually get to see any of them until I get home that night. But
Yeah, I think I have construction stuff happening that day, but whatever.
we will find a way. It always finds a way. So, yeah, should be fun. Should be
Yeah.
fun. Should be
Yeah.
fun. Excited. Super excited. Gonna watch all the episodes. Gonna watch all of them. See how they get together. Call themselves Marvel's Defenders. You know, that whole fun thing. It's gonna be a good time. Everybody's gonna like it. They're gonna laugh and laugh. Somebody's gonna die. And, yeah. Fun times. Fun times.
Well, it's gonna sound cliche, but read any good books lately? Haha.
Get out. just get out right now.
I haven't read a book in a long time. I mean, I have books, I just don't read them, so whatever. I mean, whatever, yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The books I've been reading are like storybooks at the moment, so technically, no, I have not read any good books lately. I have to read books to learn. To learn! So that I can better myself.
And then the one comic book series I was reading, I haven't read any new issues, so I'm behind. So, yeah.
I kind of want to see what's going on in modern, like, Marvel and DC universes. Like, the DC stuff seems insane to me because it's pulling in a lot of other publisher stuff. Apparently, there's some Vertigo things at the end of the first issue of this new event going on in DC. DC, I think it's called Metal. And then I just saw a thing today about Marvel Legacy. They're gonna do the Avengers of 1 million BC, and it's like Odin and Phoenix and caveman Ghost Rider who rides a mammoth.
Is the mammoth on fire?
Yeah, it's a flaming mammoth.
Yes.
And Black Panther and Iron Fist.
For some reason, is also there.
That looks really cool. I was like, wow, I do want to see what that would be like.
But I don't know, man. That mammoth, though, why does it have to, like, I don't know, like, why would it, like, allow itself to be on fire? Like, is it, like, feeling pain from this fire? Is it an eternal
It's
fire?
also a Ghost Rider.
What does it need vengeance for? Who hurt it? Who hurt you? It's like when I was a young mammoth, someone
Probably
stole
the
my
caveman.
mother's tusk, and I want vengeance, vengeance. And then Ghost Rider found him, and he's like, "I will help you. Be my mount, and I will help you get your vengeance." And he was like, "Yes, yes, let's together become the Ghost Rider." And then they both caught on fire, and the rest is history. I'm assuming that's exactly how this all goes.
I think the other cool thing about it is that it's a one-shot, so I won't have to... Although they will probably find some way to make it not a one-shot.
I was just about to say, if it gets popular...
And then they got me.
It's like anything that becomes popular and makes them money, they could be like, "Oh, we were just kidding about the one-shot thing. It's going to be all of the shots. All of them." Then they're gonna somehow work it into the main continuity, and then it's gonna be weird. Then they're gonna have to reboot everything again and be like, "Hey, Scarlet Witch, we need a favor, real quick," and then it's just gonna be a big old mess. And they're gonna fix it all.
Caveman.
Basically, it's just like, "Yay, we fixed." But she was the one who fixed the mutant thing too, didn't she? Like she refixed it or something.
Refix?
Is that what happened?
That's not what happened.
I think so.
Oh wait, well,
Wasn't there another
she
something
kind of
she
had a
did?
hand in air quote refixing, if you mean when Hope got the Phoenix Force finally from the Phoenix Five, and then she was like, "Hold my hands, Hope, no more Phoenix," and then it like did its thing, and it like
That's what she did. I was like, 'cause I know she did something else.
stuff happened, and then mutants were back, and yeah.
Because I was like, oh, she did things again. You'd think she would have learned her lesson the last time she basically destroyed the world and killed all the mutants off. But it's fine. It's fine. It's not her fault. It happens. Her powers are a bit chaotic.
Then a couple years later, they're like, "Hey guys, guess what? Terrigen Mist is deadly to mutants. Mpox, they're all dying again. Ah ha ha ha." No more
Oh,
mutants.
yeah, that's what it was. Because of the whole, because that's how they got the Inhumans thing. Because they're just like, LOLs. LOLs.
You're not back because now you're all dying again. And yeah, F Mark.
All because of some effing movie deals. Nonsense. Honestly. They need
Hilarious.
They need to like fix that. They just need to fix it. Because I don't know much about the Inhumans outside of the fact that Black Bolt isn't allowed to talk. So I would prefer if they got their mutants back. Because my only other experience with them is like from the Fantastic Four show, the cartoon from back in the day. And it had like Medusa and Crystal, I think, in it, in addition to Black Bolt. And then that's pretty much all I know about them. Because he could never open his mouth, otherwise he'd explode people or something. I don't know the actual power set of him, but something of that
It's
nature.
something like that, right?
I think so. It's like something along those lines. It's like even a whisper can destroy mountains or some nonsense. It's like, well, he must be a very poor communicator because, yeah, language, kind of a thing. So,
All right. Well, on books, I read this quite a while ago, actually, but it was really cool. It's Masters of Doom. It's just the story of how Doom was made, or it's the story of id Software, pre-Doom and slightly post-Doom.
slightly post-Doom.
They found Warren Spector, sort of, or like they hired Warren Spector after the Fallout and Daikatana and all that. But yeah, Deus Ex kind of exists because of some stuff there. It is a very interesting book. You should check it out.
Don't listen to him. It's a trap.
No, it's so good.
Reading
It's
is
so
not
good.
in fact fundamental. It is not fundamental at all.
Tekken, are you only watching Darkest Timeline documentaries?
Darkest timeline.
I watch a ton of different documentaries. Okay. The weird thing, like now, is like I will watch a documentary and then watch like a stand-up skit because it's like I have to like balance it out. To, like, you know.
So it is Darkest Timeline stuff.
I mean, most documentaries are not happy. Just saying, it's like, oh, you want to know about this? Guess what? It's probably not good for you and it's killing you somehow. So have fun with that information you just learned. It's usually not a happy time when you're watching a documentary. There's very few happy,
Well, it depends on what
positive
the dark.
documentaries.
It depends on what it's about, though, because I mean,
Because like I think the only documentaries I've seen that are like air quote positive / happy are like literally ones about happiness or like
well,
living life, like carpe diem crap of like just do whatever you want, man. Follow your dreams. Blah blah blah.
Treat yourself.
yourself. Wait, what about the sex toy documentary you watched? Was that not happy?
Sex toy. What?
Did it get? Was it sad?
What are you talking about, RPG?
Did they hurt people?
I just want to say,
And
Did they
didn't
revolt?
want it?
What are you talking about?
I remember not too long ago you were talking about some robot sex toy thing that you saw, and I was
It
like,
was
what?
probably the robot. There's like a documentary on Netflix called Robot 6 or something. I haven't watched that one yet, but there was like on my Fire TV. There's like a bunch of free documentaries that are like a minute long, and like one of them was about this dude that made I can't remember what they're called, but they're like the sex dolls. Yeah, sex dolls. That's what they're called. And like that was like one of them. It was just like this dude that makes sex dolls, and it was like a
Like
whole,
the modern ones or
Yeah.
the blow up ones?
the modern ones that are like molded and stuff. It was weird. So yeah, that was the thing. I think it was a minute long. I can't remember. There was like a bunch of short ones, but yeah, that was one. And then I can't remember the other ones actually. So yeah, but I have seen them. So yeah, whatever.
But it wasn't happy? People don't like robot
It
sex?
was not. It was not very substantive because it was too short.
But you're saying if it was longer,
It might have been, yes. Oh. Or maybe the one that's on Netflix that I haven't watched. That's super creepy. And every time I see the thing about Gamer, because he said that one time we were talking about this, that he would totally
Ex
have a
Machina?
robot sex thingy. No, it was well, it was probably about that, but yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna touch that subject, but yeah, yeah, sure.
I recall that as well.
Gamer and his pleasure bots, yeah.
don't judge him.
Cause I saw, let's see, the recent ones I saw one on people that were like convicted wrongly or something or whatever, and then had their cases overturned with DNA evidence, but they'd already been like convicted, so they were like in prison, but they were free. So that was the whole thing. That was weird. See, I can't remember what I saw because like I saw the stand-up about this dude that was an immigrant, but I'm trying to think like what I saw before that, and I'm like, what was the documentary I watched? And like I'm blanking on like what it was. And I was like, what was the documentary you saw? I saw this one about. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. It wasn't about super germs or super bugs. It might have
Super
been.
germs. That's a fun. See, I think you just watch I just think it's the documentaries that you're watching that's the issue. It's like you're not choosing happy ones. You're choosing like ones that obviously are not gonna
Well, those are the
help
good
you.
ones because they're informative. It's like, oh, I didn't know about this. Oh, tell me more. Tell me more. Let me know about this thing that I don't know about. And then like I recently like finished all my documentaries that like were on there, but then I added a bunch more because someone like gave me a list and I added them onto my queue. So like I had like no documentaries because I like, finished them all. So like for the longest time I didn't like actually have any on my list, and I was like, oh, whatever. I finished all my documentaries. But then I was like, well, let me reload and add this whole list. So I think that was like around the time when I was like, oh, I still have Young Justice on here. Let me watch that. And it was like, oh man. And I just like watched all season. It was like the first season, just like binge watch it because it's so good. And I was like, man, Young Justice is like the last great American shonen, in my opinion. Because man, I was like, not only does it give 90s X-Men run for its money, it might be better than 90s X-Men because yeah. And then by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, it might be better than 90s X-Men. I think it is better than 90s X-Men. And then I saw like how many episodes were the second season. I was like, what? How many episodes is this? Well, yeah. And then like Archie's like, oh, don't worry, Tekken. Don't worry, it gets better. I was like, what? How can it get
It's
better?
even better. It does. It really does. It's
You're-
like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's like you build an entire arc for an entire season and then you deliver, and there's like triple cross and triple weirdness at the end. It's like, what? And like some weird dream sequence where like stuff happened. It's like, oh man, that was a dream. Oh, and I almost died. It was great. It was great. Young Justice was good.
It is a great show. I'm just surprised. I mean, in all fairness, like it kind of ran into issues because of the weird scheduling that was going on in Cartoon Network at the time when it was on. But that was Cartoon Network's fault because, yeah, that was just it was just awful. Because I think the whole DC Nation block kind of got janked up because of it. Because they used to have like these shows on there where it was like I think it was Green Lantern, Young Justice, and there were two other ones. But it was like a whole block of them or whatever, and then like they just aired so sporadically, and it's like, oh, here's a new episode this weekend, and then that'll be the last new episode for like 2 months or something, and then it'll go on hiatus even though they only showed like one episode. Then it'll come back with like 3 episodes, then go on hiatus again, and it's just like it was a mess. It was a mess.
Okay,
So
I'm looking at my watch history on Netflix, and the last documentary I watched before the immigrant stand-up thingy was Awake. It was a Standing Rock documentary. That's one. There we go.
Stain. Oh, like I thought you meant like a actual rock. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, who was the stand-up?
No, it wasn't this. Oh, the stand-up was Maz Jobrani, Immigrant. It was funny. And I have a bunch of stuff on here I was watching while I cleaned my apartment, so I didn't really actually watch it. It was just on in the background. And then Iron Fist, and then Young Justice, and that's like a bunch of episodes. So yeah, I have no idea what I watched before that. But it says I watched. Wow, Luke Cage. Oh, Luke Cage apparently, and then Young Justice. And then yeah, some more stand-up, some Too Young to Die, a burlesque documentary.
That wasn't happy?
I wouldn't categorically say it was happy. It was more of a introspective or entertaining slash. Oh, this is interesting. I get a interesting perspective on this topic that I have not seen before. And then there's a documentary on here I'd already seen before, so I'm not going to count that one. Whatever. So I think I clicked on it because I was like, I haven't seen this, but then I clicked on it. I had seen it because the stupid thumbs up, thumbs down thing was like weird, and I was like, oh, I've seen this before. It's basically just like the Bigger, Stronger, Faster one, which is like about steroids. It's pretty good. And a bunch of stand-ups. Oh yeah, the stand-ups from Netflix. That one, like I watched that whole thing. That's like I totally recommend that. It's just like so hilarious, so good stuff. And yeah, that is like a whole month's worth of stuff I've been watching on Netflix. So.
Oh my.
Oh, Castlevania. Yeah, Castlevania's really good. Yeah, okay.
Castlevania was really good.
Apparently I haven't watched a lot of documentaries in the last month, whatever. At least not on Netflix. I mean, I had HBO Now, but then I canceled it because it kept being weird and not working. And I watched some documentaries on that. And there's like this one about opioids, because I was like, kept hearing about it. And like people keep saying it's like, you know, a leading cause of people dying, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, let me see how bad it is, blah, blah. It's pretty sad, though, I gotta say. So.
Was it bad?
It was sad. It wasn't bad. It was just, you know. It was weird because, like, they were filming it. And then,
No, I meant the crisis itself.
I mean, it didn't seem as bad as it is made out to be, I gotta say. But whatever. People are like, oh, it's an epidemic. It's killing so many people, blah, blah, blah. And then I watched the documentary and I was like, this doesn't seem... I don't know. I'm just saying, then, like, from my personal experience, like, I don't hear on the news, like, oh, you hear just people just dying, like, dropping like flies from overdosing on opioids, just saying. But, you know, maybe it's just worse than I think it is, I don't know.
It could be. But, I mean, it's probably because so many people die from it, they don't even bother reporting anymore. It's that bad.
This is not a very exciting story either.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I would say it's like, by the way, this person died of overdose. And it's like, well, of course they did. They do all the time. So, yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to report it as often as they would probably like. Because then you can't do things like you do with hurricanes and have like the watch list and all, or the whole watch hours or whatever is going on and all that fun stuff. And, you know, that'd be fun times with, yeah, those things.
Happy fun time.
Drags.
Because, you know, whenever they report news stuff, it always has to be something that, I guess, it's ratings. News is very ratings based, despite the fact that it's actually supposed to be an informative type thing. They still just want
I don't watch
ratings.
The news on TV. Well, I don't have a TV. Well, I mean, I have a TV. I don't like have anything that like broadcasts a signal to it because I don't have cable or anything. Like, that's if I did, that's why I wouldn't watch the news on TV and stuff. So there. But hey, at least we went a few days without hearing about Russia.
Well, that's because another crisis took its place. So, you know, I mean,
And this is why we need fun stuff.
I mean, I guess if you want to be technical about it, yes, we didn't because other things started.
Any cool toys? Do you play with toys anymore?
I do not.
Not the
play
kind I
toys.
could talk about
What
on
the
the
F-
podcast, but
Oh my.
Oh, my indeed.
But I do. Well, actually, since we are talking about you, I've kind of like. Well, I haven't like bought any, but there's like some I think that are cooler, like the the Nindoid droids or what are they called?
Oh,
Those?
wait, is it the thing that Yukino likes? Those
Yeah,
little.
those thingies. The ones where you can like change the faceplate and stuff like that.
Yep.
Those are pretty cool. I like the play arts too because they're all like fully articulated and all that other cool stuff, and they come with accessories and everything. Like they look like adult action figures kind of because it's like they're collectible but they're cool too. So if you're like one of the people who wants to play with them, you could be like, hey, play with my action figures, and people will still be like, yeah, but they're cool action figures, so it's okay. I'm not going to judge you for it. It's like, I don't care if you were. I don't care if you were. I'm into it. So it would have been so yeah, that's it. But I think those are cool. I mean, they're expensive though. Is the only. It's like I saw them and I was like, oh, this is cool. But then I saw the price. It's like one of them is like $60 or some nonsense like that. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot for a action figure.
I want to get the Overwatch ones that just are coming either out or coming soon. They look great. Yeah, I have a lot of toys, but I can always say I have kids.
He has a kid.
I have kid. So
He used that as his excuse.
it's like whatever.
Yeah, 'cause you got like the amiibos and everything too. So
Yeah. Though the amiibos really are like, there's like only a few amiibos that I think are really cool that are meaningful to me. Pac-Man, Mega Man. I guess like the Wind Waker ones are really good. But yeah.
part of me kind of wishes like the amiibos or the Disney Infinity stuff was more posable.
Those are real. I am still sad that those were discontinued. Like that felt like such a natural thing for Disney to do. Like they sell little figurines that do nothing. Why wouldn't they continue to sell these figurines that do cool stuff?
Well, I guess because the game doesn't exist anymore. So.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. It's all Battlefront's fault. All of the monies.
Because I still wanted to find I can't find the Baymax and Hero ones because I wanted to buy those, but dude, I can't find them. Although I wonder if GameStop still carries them.
It's not. I don't think they buy them used anymore. I think it's just whatever they have left.
Mm.
Baymax and Big Hero 6 is getting a TV series with the original voices.
It is, but it's also gonna be in Kingdom Hearts. So darkness, it will prevail.
I got a deli slicer a while back. I think that's been pretty fun.
One of the giant ones?
No, like a cheap, like a meat, like a small home use meat slicer.
Well, because I was about to say, first of all, those things are huge and heavy, and they're expensive. So
yeah, I thought it was gonna be a huge thing, and then I got it. I was like, oh, cool! It's like a reasonable size.
Now, is it one of the crank ones, or is it actually like
It's
electric?
a motorized one. Yeah, like you
Woogie.
plug it in and it goes. And I was not sure what to expect. Like what I wanted to do with it is like I guess all Asian countries have it. Like Asian style hot pot has like thinly sliced beef or pork. And then you just like boil it for a minute or something and then it's done.
Oh yeah, we talked about hot pot before.
Yeah.
I was asking you about Persona stuff because I was like, what is this hot pot everyone's always talking about?
Oh, you don't know hot pot. Not really. Hot pot is amazing. What it is, how I remember it from childhood is like a portable burner of some sort. In Taiwan, mostly that meant induction burners. So it's like just a flat glass panel that apparently only heats the pot that's on it. And
Yes.
You can put your hand on it and it'll be totally fine.
Well, I mean, to some
Mostly.
degree. It's like you don't necessarily want to do that.
Don't cook your hand on it.
But I mean, yeah, it's because it's like the way it works. Well, it has to be a pan of a certain material
Yeah.
in order for it to actually turn itself on and start doing that. But
But yeah, it's like one of those in the middle of your big table, and then you have the correct type of pot on it, filled with some sort of like soup base, and then you bring it to a boil, and then it's like communal cooking, I guess. It's actually a lot like fondue, if you've ever had that before.
the American
We had
version
fondue.
of hot pot.
Yeah, we had fondue once, and I was like, this is hot pot, but like with cheese and chocolate later.
Wait, is it similar to like if you do a Korean barbecue and how they like bring you stuff and you cook it yourself and that kind of
Yeah.
thing, or
Like
okay.
that. But,
Except that you use liquid
without
instead of a grill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's boiled stuff. And it's like, it is amazing. And one of my favorite things in it is this like thinly sliced beef or pork that you boil quickly. And so it's like cooks really fast. And since it's thinly sliced and all that, it's like tender. And then there's a mixture. And I don't know. The can says like Taiwanese or like Chinese barbecue sauce, but it doesn't remind me of barbecue sauce at all. It is made out of it's like shrimp peels and
Well, I'm allergic to shellfish, so that would be bad.
okay, so you want to be able to use this stuff. It's really good, and you mix it with like an egg yolk and soy sauce, and then you just like dip these meat slices and whatever else is in your hot pot in this sauce, and it's so good. And yeah, I was just like, it sucks to buy this thin meat slices in America. It's like expensive, and I don't like doing it. And so I was like, I'm gonna get my own slicer and do it myself. And I did. And I tried the slicer and I was like, oh my gosh, it works. You need to like freeze the meat a little so that it's hard enough to cut through. And then I thought it would be scary too, because it is essentially a table saw, but you're cooking food with it. I was just like before I turned it on, I was like, I have no idea what to expect. Is it going to be loud like a table saw? Is it going to be is it going to be really scary?
It's like, oh my gosh, this is how I die. The gypsy woman was right.
All in the name of food? I don't even care that much about food.
You watch your mouth.
But then, yeah, I was like, oh, it's remarkably quiet. It's like quieter than most vacuum cleaners I've owned. And
You're gonna have to send me a picture. I want to see how big this thing is, just in case, because it's like you might, if you are using like the kinds we use in like our normal restaurants. I'm like,
it's like a toast. It's a bit bigger than a toaster oven, like a common toaster oven.
Because I wonder. But yeah, slicers are nice, except for when people cut their fingers off on them.
That was what I was afraid of. It did not.
Yeah, we had somebody that I worked with that did that. It was like, good job, genius. Good job.
But yeah, it's been really great. So that's my new toy. As an adult, I can say that. I highly recommend you get your own deli slicer. I understand that you cook other things, but I highly recommend hot pot. For some reason, you would think hot pot would be something that you eat in the winter, and it is. But every time I think about
it's like always the middle of
pot,
summer.
it's always like, yeah, like it's the hottest day on Earth. Like, why are we doing this?
Reasons. Although, I mean, I always enjoy ramen, and that's like, I always, and I've always lived in like subtropical climate, so it's like it's never been cold. Well, California gets cold at night because it's desert, but still, it's like it's usually like not wintry basically because ramen is delicious, and finding a good ramen place is very difficult, especially here. But California not so much because they have them like everywhere, but here it's kind of difficult.
It is great. I don't know how you can find hot pot if you don't know how to cook.
I guess Google search hot pot restaurants. You might get lucky. Although it's possible that some like Asian style restaurants have it on their menu as like a thing.
Oh yeah, maybe. I know like Japanese places have something called shabu shabu, which is similar.
Interesting. Shabu shabu, you say? Because I know as these things become more popular, people try to like imitate it. So it's possible that some all-in-one restaurants have them or something. They're like, hey, try this hot pot thing, and you'll love it. Or hell, it's probably possible that there are some Korean barbecue places that like do it too, because I mean, they're like, well, you're already cooking your own food. Might as well do this too. Do all of our work for us. Do all of it for us.
Exactly. Actually, that reminds me. They just opened this new pizza place here, and it is basically pizza in the style of Chipotle. So it's like a glass, or I guess reaching even further back, it's pizza in the style of Subway, where it's you build your own pizza.
What's the name of it? Because I think it might be the same place.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, because
called-
you can choose your own toppings and cheese.
Yeah, like
and
you
sauce
choose
and
your own
stuff like that.
toppings as you go down the line, and then the baking is very fast. And the way they do it here is just like it's like cracker thin crust.
You.
Oh, okay, then that's different from the place. Because there's a place in California. They're like I don't know if it's a franchise. There's like a couple of them, so it's more of a chain of them or something. But it's like really good because they have like you could choose like all these different type of gourmet sauces and all this other stuff, and it's like it's
man.
great. And it's yeah, I had it because like my friend was like, you got to try this place, it's so good, and I was like, I don't believe you, it's pizza. And then I was just like, oh, okay, this is good. I take back everything I said. You are not an insane gypsy woman, so this is fine.
The one here is called a mod, like mod your pizza.
Oh, okay.
Tech reference.
Oh, it's not the same thing then. But yeah.
But it does appear to be a chain. Yeah, like those seem more and more common, right? Or do they have a ton of burrito places around where you guys are?
Burrito places?
I mean,
I wouldn't
Chipotle
know,
exists
dude.
here, so
Like Chipotle and Qdoba?
No.
we have those here.
We have
And I mean, there's a lot of Tex-Mex type places because there's also Moe's and
Oh yeah, we
other
used to have
stuff.
a Moe's here.
So I mean, yeah, they exist, but
Tekken, you have no idea?
I mean, we have
Why-
Chipotle, but I don't know like what we have here because I don't really go out to eat. So yeah.
he just buys his frozen pizzas and jars of fruit. That's basically his
Hey.
diet.
And bags of frozen vegetables, okay. And raisin
In the
bran.
crock pot.
I don't use my crock pot.
Sad. You should.
Put it in the
Which
microwave.
reminds me, let me go check out my food while it's BRB.
Wait, are you vegetarian or by circumstance vegetarian still?
Kind of. I mean, what do you mean by circumstance tropical?
Like, I think back in the day it was because you basically didn't eat any meat except occasionally on pizza.
Yeah. Still, yeah. Still, that's still the same.
So it's still like that.
Yeah. Still like that.
It's so easy.
I
Do you want to know how?
know how to what?
Know how to have other things?
I don't.
How are the potato days?
What do you mean? How were they? They were
Look,
fine.
looking back, they were fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just like.
But you ended them because of all
Uh,
the deadly nightshade and cheese things we were talking about.
I'm trying to. Let's see. Why did I stop? I think it's because I could get the protein from somewhere else, and then just because I didn't need to eat it all the time, or just it was just like I don't know. I think I had to buy like a bag of potatoes like every week or something. And it was just like minor inconvenience. I was like, you know what, this is just this is a pain.
They're very heavy.
Yeah. So it's like, let me try to find something else I can get this from, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, and then this week when I was like stocking the shelves, there's like a bag of prunes, and it said high in protein. So I'm totally like slotting that in, maybe replacing trail mix with it because you know.
Wait, what's a bag of prunes? How are they high in protein?
I don't
That's
know,
not
it
even.
said- I was gonna ask you about because I was like, do they have a lot of protein? Because just saying.
Call shenanigans on that.
Do they?
Because plants, I mean, you can get protein from plants, but it requires like work. So I don't know if those prunes would be. I'm suspicious of that. Unless they're doing things to them that they shouldn't be doing.
Adding protein.
They're juicing them. They're juicing the prunes.
That doesn't sound too bad until you hear the context.
I just want to say. So you hear the context.
Man, I really want Tekken to know how to make food.
Right?
Even like simple thing, because like it's just better.
And the fact that he has he has a slow cooker because he can at least start easy, but he's just like he just doesn't. He's just lazy and doesn't want to learn. Is what it is.
I don't need to, so it's fine.
Yes, you do.
Made this long without
Because-
it. Haha.
Eventually, you're
But
going
how
to have
much
to.
longer?
Oh,
Whoa!
please drop the ball. I don't know, one of you weird people that's all about, oh, I must eat my meat and it's so delicious.
Delicious meat in my mouth.
How is that weird, people?
I'm just saying.
Like normal people eating normal food? That's weird? Alright, you.
I mean, I guess it would make sense if like you knew how to cook it, but you know, that's not my thing, so it's whatever.
You don't even have to know how to cook to use a slow cooker.
It's more like a bucket that happens to heat the things inside.
Basically. I mean, unless you're doing anything that requires like extra prep, then I mean that's different, but for the most part, you can kind of just dump stuff in and turn it on and it'll do what you want
Like
it
a
to do.
fire pit. Or a
Like a
dumpster
fire
fire.
Or a delicious dumpster fire. Because everyone loves those things.
Alright, so TV, movies,
I don't watch
books, food stuff. You watch documentaries. That's TV. That's on TV. I don't watch TV.
TV. I thought you literally meant TV when you said that.
Well, technically, you are watching a TV show. It's just not cable.
Sort of toys.
Gotcha. Well,
Well, those are the ones you couldn't tell us about, so.
when you're older.
We were talking about earlier today. It's like, my daughter's going to school? It's like, wait, how old is she? It's like 4. Actually, she's going to be 5 in December.
Oh my goodness, it's been so long. Like, she was like being born when we we were there. We were practically there.
This podcast has gone on a long time. Is it gonna continue, Tekken? Is it?
Why would
Tell us.
We'll be seeing your daughter off to college. It's like, ah, man, I remember when you were a wee little girl.
After Operation Maple Syrup, will we still be around?
Well,
Inquiring minds want to know.
Of course we will. Why wouldn't we be?
Yay!
Not even the darkest timeline can stop us. Not even the darkest timeline.
I mean, who else
Excellent.
is gonna have some place for us to grieve our grievances about, or air our grievances about stuff and stuff when we play, and it's like, this isn't good enough. Or like, thanks a lot, EA, for, you know, wasting your time with a 10-year game, and now BioWare can't make anything else except for work on the Anthem. Thanks a lot.
Who will gush about Mass Effect?
Until then, all I have is Telltale. Thanks a lot.
Well, Tekken will still gush about it. He loves Mass Effect.
Luckily,
so
their
that's not-
output has been pretty good, and they've redeemed themselves, so I'm back in a happy place about that. Until someone else comes along to steal BioWare's throne. Whatever. Or, you know, when CD Projekt Red finally puts out Cyberpunk 2077, and then, you know, it looks amazing and runs. Unless it's like a next-gen game, and they're just like not gonna say anything about it until the next. It's fine. I can wait as long as I need to, and then I can finish the Witcher trilogy and be like, "Yay! I found a new, better developer to root for, BioWare. That's not you. Sorry. CD Projekt Red. Nah. They're my new favorite. That's not Telltale. Or my new
Don't
second place, or
don't lie. You would never abandon
my other top.
BioWare. Don't do that. You love them too much. You love them too much.
Yeah, but they're gonna go like at least 5 years without making a game. That's depressing.
What? Anthem's coming out like next year. What are you talking
I'm
about?
not gonna be playing Anthem. That's a
Yes,
waste
you
of
are,
time.
Tekken. Yes, you are. Because we have drop in, drop out squad fun to have, and you are going to do it and like it,
I'm
sir.
gonna let someone else take that bullet and then ask them how bad is it, and they'll be like, yeah, like have
Alright.
ask them to compare to Destiny.
Shoot me.
Destiny is ruining too much of my life. It's great.
It's not Destiny. It's just it has similar things to it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not Destiny. It's kind of like Destiny meets Monster Hunter meets Mass Effect.
I wouldn't go that far.
Kind of.
You're stuck on one planet,
Well,
one race.
yes and no. I mean, you have your different suits and all that fun stuff going on, and then, I mean, I don't know, Tekken. It might be super fun. You can go underwater. Underwater!
Red Dead 2 might be out by then. We'll see.
Once they show more of it, you'll change your mind. You'll realize your mistake. You'll love it. Everybody will be like, "We told you so." And then you'll be like, "I'm buying it day one." And you'll get the super deluxe edition. Then we'll all be like, "Duh." And then it'll be super fun times.
Yeah.
Are we done with the fun stuff, Tropical?
No, there's still fun to be had. Damn it.
Are we?
Well, you can never have too much fun in the darkest timeline. So, you know, there's that. Why are there two carries over here?
Yeah, I feel like the darkest timeline is messing with me now. 2 days, and I'm just so tired. And it, like, we were doing such cool stuff with the podcast and, like, thinking up cool things, and then it just, man, and now I can't think of anything.
Then it got dark. So you could no longer think about what if God was one of us, because then you'd be sad. The state of the world we're in. So if he was in fact that bum on the bus, just trying to live his life, he'd be pretty sad about it.
I would ask, why? Why?
He's just trying to make his way home, man. Just trying to make his way home.
Are we gonna die?
Yes. Yes, we are. It's probably going to be horrible and painful. But, you know, that's life, man. That's life.
So, putting all that aside, it's news time.
Yay!
There was some cool stuff happening this week. No Man's Sky got a new update called Atlas Rising, I guess. Yeah, or not really. Apparently, the game is still fundamentally
the same,
mostly the same. But Atlas Rising was supposed to improve the story. I guess people are disappointed by that too. But one of the most significant things that I saw was that for the first time, players met up with each other in No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you think, though. You can't interact or anything, but you can congregate and see other people's names. But it's just like these glowing blue orbs.
That's weird.
So, not quite exactly what people thought it would be, but perhaps it's just a first step. They are talking about, yes, this is not the end of the updates. So it's been a year since No Man's Sky came out. It's
already been a year? Jeez.
It's been a year. They added vehicles, base building, and now this, better narrative, I guess, more things to do in the galaxy, and then like portals and things like that.
And test chambers?
No, test chambers. But yeah, lots of things have been added, but the impression I get is it's still pretty much the same game. You go from planet to planet, harvest stuff from those planets, and then go to the next planet until you get to some planet somewhere out there.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Still, I think that's pretty cool. There's a bunch of Call of Duty and stuff like that going on, but we don't care too much about that. Like, I guess the beta is happening. Destiny 2 is getting the beta on PC pretty soon. But yeah, that is not of interest to the host here.
Of course it is. We all love Destiny 2 and Call of Duty and other games that everyone else loves because of mainstream hardcore, blah blah blah, dude bro. I'd like Red Bull with my Cheetos.
Wow, I had never thought of that combination for some reason. That seems awful.
Because you're not a true dude, bro. You don't even lift. So.
Nope, I do not.
I apologize to any dude bros out there. Don't come at me, please. Please do not come at me. Because heard you guys are hyper aggressive and I am not into that. So, hard pass. I'm pretty sure you're great.
There's a big sale going on PSN.
There is? What?
50% off lots of things if you're a Plus member.
What kinds of things?
Well, Tekken and Telltale. So, Telltale, I don't know if that was related, but Telltale, a bunch of Telltale stuff is 50% off. 60% off if you are a Plus member.
The only current Telltale game I don't have is the Minecraft Season 2, so it's probably not on there. It just
Wait, Season 2 already happened? Jeez, that was quick.
Season 2 just started, so.
Guess I'll wait for us all on that.
Yeah, I want to get...
Wait, did you play Season 1?
Not yet.
I think we both own it, but we haven't played it.
Ah.
I was just caught up in my love for Telltale, and I was like, whatever, it's Telltale, even if it's Minecraft, and I made a bad decision. Whatever.
Judging.
Maybe.
Everyone's
Then I guess I can play it and see if it's any good. But then I'll know if I need to get season 2 or not. I'll be fine.
Well, then you might actually want to do that first before the sale happens.
But yeah, if you don't have Game of Thrones, that one's on there.
Well, it's
All
free
the
this month
Walking
if you
Dead
have
ones are
PlayStation
on.
Plus anyway, so.
Oh, is that true? Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Remember we talked about it that one time about how we're terrible at saving our family because they're all terrible at saving each other.
Oh, we've been watching Game of Thrones TV recently. It's weird. I was like, oh, that's the city we sacked. Or no, she was very clear that we don't sack the city. But, you know, that's
Exact
the result
words.
she wanted to achieve. And I was like, wait, that guy is like, why is that guy out here? I saw him at the other place. So it's been very confusing. My TV progress on Game of Thrones is behind where the game was.
Wait, so when does the game take place, though? Or does it take place in the same?
At least after the beginning of season 3. I think it's between season 3 and 4. Or maybe concurrent with something. But no, the event at the beginning of the game is
Because it takes place
at the end of one of the seasons, I think.
I think so, yeah, because I remember there being this whole hullabaloo about it, and they're just like, oh, the Red Wedding, oh, somebody's face got eaten off, and all this other nonsense, but you know how that goes. No one's face actually got eaten off yet, guys. I'm kidding. Well, possibly. There are dragons in the show, so it is a very real possibility that someone's face has gotten eaten off at this point.
But the Danganronpa games are on sale for PS4. I want to get FIFA 17 because I want to see these story modes in sports games.
I love Danganronpa. If you haven't played it, play it because it's the greatest.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of EA stuff. The Saints Row games are on sale. There's a Saints Row Metro double pack on PS4 that's pretty really cheap.
What does that even mean?
I think it must be like the Saints Row 4 and Gat Out of Hell. Those are on PS4, and then Metro. What's the first? Oh, Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light were the remastered Metro games on PS4.
Oh. So that's why it's called Metro.
Yeah.
No, we were all the last light. No.
And if you want to get Star Wars Battlefront just to see the VR thing, that's really cheap too.
Don't do it.
Do you think it was worth it?
Was worth it
Second.
for what?
The VR thing?
I mean, if you don't get it on full price, yeah.
Okay. That's true. $60, maybe not.
I don't even think Battlefront was worth full price, so it's like, no.
Battlefront
Battlefront is
didn't really
easily
care for
one
the
of the most
original one.
overrated turds this console generation. That's terrible.
Oh my.
I was so hyped for that game, and I played it, and I was like, why did I do this? I knew there was a story mode, but I just couldn't say no to a Star Wars game, and it looked so pretty, and then I played it, and I was like, why did I do this to myself?
You did crap on it a lot.
Because there's a Starfighter mode, whatever.
It is so pretty.
If it makes you feel any better, that's all I got.
And then yeah, not letting them do it to me again, and then not buying Battlefield 2 until it's like that $5 flash sale. Sorry, not doing it. You know you did DICE, EA, you all guilty parties. And then we get a story mode, and you get to play as the Empire in the darkest timeline. Good job, guys.
The darkest timeline.
Round of applause.
I should point out that the Empire is just misunderstood. I mean, they're not as bad as everyone's making them out to be. Sure, Emperor Palpatine tried to like genocide a whole people, and then they blew up an entire planet, and then
This sounds so bad today.
welcome to the true darkest timeline. Something something dark side. Snoke has no nose. But there's things like that. It's just I don't know, man. In all, they kind of it's kind of their own fault though. It's like how did they even not expect this to happen to them? Because it's like after seeing the prequels and then it's just like 90% of the people in this room can't be trusted. How are you guys trusting any of them? And they're just like, nah, these guys are cool. They're cool. They're cool. And then Palpatine became emperor because he had a very emperor-y name. And no one seemed to think that was weird. No one seemed to think that was weird.
So Uncharted The Lost...
I don't think we asked you, RPG. Do you think that... like if you haven't seen, since like you're the person that hasn't seen Star Wars until we made you, do you think that it would be a better
you make it sound so forced
to just like start with Rogue One and like skip the prequels?
No, I think the prequels are they're essential viewing for your pleasure. Because I mean, sure, the acting's not great, and you know a lot of the stuff doesn't make sense, and there's a lot of rushed storytelling and other things like that. But they're pretty. They're pretty.
Would you
Kinda
watch
like
Rogue One after Episode 3, or would you wait until you saw all 6 to watch Rogue One?
Since I technically watched them in the order and that they were not intended to. But the sense like so I probably would watch Rogue One after 3, like you're not supposed to. So there's that. Because I mean,
yeah, because it takes the place like it literally has.
Because it takes place like right before,
before Episode 4 starts. So it's like a perfect starting point.
Man, Rogue One was so good.
It was.
Except for the part where everybody died. Spoiler alert. I mean,
that's why it was so good.
In all fairness, you could. I mean, going into it, I was like, I don't recognize any of these characters. Oh yeah, they're probably going to die horribly. No one's surviving this movie, are they? Yeah. And then, sure enough, they're like, set the Death Star to stun. We want them to think they have a chance. They did not have a chance. They, in fact, did not have a chance. And it's all the more terrifying the fact that the Death Star even had a setting like that. Because it's like, huh. It's like it's one thing to
Death Star to stun.
like it's one thing to think that okay, we're definitely gonna die because of the horrible death that awaits us from the exploding planet. But then it's just like there's a slowly approaching wall of gigantic Earth. I have time to panic and worry and have nothing to do about it. This is fine. And then, yeah, basically you're just like, well, I'm dead. So this is my life now. This is my life. So yeah, that's a very scary thought because it's like you never know how, depending on what mood he was in, he's just like, do I feel like just blowing up a planet or do I feel like just destroying a city? Decisions. Yeah, so that's fun. That's fun. So bright side though, they destroyed it. Not bright side, somehow they managed to get funding to build a second one. Bright side is they destroyed that. Not so bright side, somebody got pissed and made a sun-sized version of it. So, it got worse. But this is fine. Apparently everyone's okay with them having giant death weapons just floating out in space, because that's a thing. Well, that's a thing.
Also funny that the heroes never think to build one for themselves. It's like, yeah, whatever, man, we'll just blow it up. We could have one and then, use it for good.
I'm going to go on the assumption they do not have these unlimited resources that the Empire seems to have, so that might be why they haven't built one for themselves. Also, I think as a death weapon, it might be a little bit against character for heroes to have that kind of power, even if it is as a defensive weapon.
It's about
against...
winning.
I don't think that's how that works, actually. Sure, good guys think that way.
It's a deterrent.
You have to
RPG.
win. It's a deterrent.
Gives us
Because
good-
then
good-
it's like
great
it gets to the
leverage
point.
on
As
peace
a matter of
treaties.
fact, I think there was like a show or something that kind of like touched on that idea when they're just like, is it okay for heroes to have this kind of power or something? I forgot what show it was though. Oh, actually, it was Justice League. It was the Justice League show. Because their watchtower, once they found out that the thing can fire an orbital death laser, and everybody was just like, I have questions.
Okay, I have some concerns.
The slight issue here, your base of operations can fire a death laser. We were not aware of this fact until just now. So, okay. I don't approve. And, yeah, you guys gotta dismantle that thing. Say what?
That was
It
when
was-
Hawk Girls people came, right?
I think so, yeah, because then they were just like, oh, well, one of them already betrayed us, and now you guys have a death laser in the sky. This is really shaping up to be a good day for us. So then Cadmus is like, well, now we have to make this countermeasure for all superheroes and all this. I mean, mind you, they're probably already doing that anyway. They're just using it as an excuse, but it's just like, hey, these guys have a death weapon up in the sky. What's to say they just don't get mad one day and go ahead and blow us all up? And then Superman's like, we would never do that. And everybody's like, shut up, Superman. And then it's like, yeah, it just kind of did not go as planned because then it escalated. They ended up making like evil Wonder Twins for whatever reason. And then it's just like one of them tried to drown Aquaman. And that went about as well as you think it did. So yeah, that was a fun show. That's another one I miss. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like it's kind of true though. It's like, what do you like when you have that kind of power? It's like you can't necessarily trust. I mean, keep in mind like they were already like a tower full of superheroes, so it's like who's gonna stop them to begin with, like let alone with the death weapon in play. So it's just like I have questions about everything that's happening right now. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's like what's to assure you that they aren't gonna just decide to wake up one day and it's like, you know what, I hate Earth, you're all dying today, and then everyone just dies horribly. So that's probably why the good guys do not have a Death Star. Also, it's called a Death Star. So it's obviously not a weapon for fun.
It's a branding issue.
It's like you guys thought it would be okay to have something called a Death Star? I don't. Aren't you the good guys? It's like, I mean, it depends on my mood. You know, sometimes I feel like good. Sometimes I feel like blowing up planets. Maybe you caught me on a good day. Maybe you
the
get out of my
good
house.
Death Star be called?
Peace shooter, because
The peace shooter.
that's what the result is if we ever need to use it. It's like,
have
oh,
my
We
reservations
kill all the
about-
bad guys. There will be peace.
just saying. Problem solved. We have peace
like
now. Unless we missed, then we got a problem. Accident. Oops.
Stuff like that. Stuff like that. They cannot do things
Oh,
like that.
yeah, the peace beam, because it makes peace. Yes.
Beam?
I'm sorry, I'm all about the chaotic good, dude. You
The
gotta,
Care Bear stare.
gotta take care of all
exactly
those
what-
problems, no matter what.
What
And
is
like,
the Care Bear stare? Well, it is a laser that comes out of our chests.
Sorry. What?
Like Iron Man.
So you're telling me these teddy bears have lasers already? I don't. I have questions. It's like it's fine. It's only used for defenses and good. But it's like I don't know. Because it's always that time. Because they're just like, remember that one time Superman turned evil? Yeah. Yeah. So there's always this is
there.
I mean, in a reality where there's telepaths, I mean, you kind of couldn't do that because it's like, oh, you got brain hacked, and now you're gonna use it against us or something. So it's like, yeah, not a good idea.
See, and that's the thing too. It's like everybody can always just be like, oh, but I was under mind control. It's like you're always under some form of mind control, aren't you? Always something.
That's convenient.
So it's like,
But
yeah,
it's true.
It's like, it's like, oh, it was my evil clone. It wasn't me, guys. Sorry. Oh.
like yes. So, I mean, things like that. It's like I think that's part of the reason the good guys don't have these type of things because it wouldn't look very heroic if they had.
This
that
makes me
stuff.
think of the
Peace
There's
beams.
actually a
Like,
story
it's-
arc in the New Avengers because it's like the incursion thingy, and they have to like stop planets from colliding with each other, and then like they build a bunch of like death weapons like this to like in the case they have to use them to like destroy
Rock
planets.
breakers. They're rock
And
breakers.
then like Iron Man builds one called the Soul's Hammer or something, and it's like this laser beam.
That doesn't sound dangerous
That's
at all.
like-
It's like, cool
That's
is
like
going.
charged by the sun.
Because it shoots their soul.
Like, I was like, I don't.
Oh, wait, that's soul. Yes, that is what I meant.
That's what I meant. It's like, guys, I have more questions. It's like, could you imagine the press conference of someone trying to like one of the Avengers trying to sell this to when people are just like, no, it's totally safe. It's not something that's gonna backfire on us at all later on down the line. It's like, so you're telling me we're gonna put up a giant laser in space capable of destroying planets that only you guys have access and control over? Well, yeah, I mean, when you say it out loud like that, it sounds bad, but I mean, it's for your protection.
Perfect.
I'll take 3. It's like, so yeah, I don't know, man. In all things considered, it's like every time Tony tries to build something useful, Ultron happens, and then, you know,
Darkest timeline.
basically, it's like, so
If
I don't know.
only.
Actually, we do kind of have something like that. We're not quite there, but you know, CRISPR could just, you know, end everything if we just like take it a bit too far. And it's like, oh, I didn't mean to edit that gene. Oops, didn't know we'd do that. And then a couple years down the road, it's like, oh well, we just thought we could solve all these issues with that thing if you just edited it. But who knew fooling around with genes, you know, the genetic level manipulation? Bad idea. What were we thinking? And even though we had like 50 years of sci-fi material to like look at and be like, this is a bad idea, dudes.
We warned ourselves, guys. We always warn ourselves. It's like no one listens. It's like when the inevitable robot zombie dinosaur apocalypse happens, I just stand. I'm going to be on the corner and be like, I told you. I told all of you. We went over this.
Oh man, that's probably like, yeah, that's like how it starts. It's like, well, we have this dinosaur DNA, and now we have CRISPR, and we can maybe put it in what are those things called?
Kill humans.
Chromosomes?
It's totally good. And then next thing you know, we have weird dinosaur zombie robot hybrids running around here, taking over the planet, and then they're just like, no, we're your friends. We totally don't want to be your robot overlords. They want to be our robot overlords. So it's just like, it's
Yeah,
going to be a mess.
we just need to implant it in one embryo, and that's how it starts. And then it's like, oh, we got dinosaurs. Oh wait, it does that now? What? That wasn't... What? Dinosaurs do that? I guess we didn't know, because we've never actually seen an actual dinosaurs. We just have books and skeletons.
Basically, it's like they turn out they
Whoopsie.
had like superpowers or something. It's like, this is terrible.
Or it's like
This is the worst
Or,
scenario.
yeah, or like dinosaurs carry the zombie gene, and it's like they just like the first victim is like patient zero,
That's what,
and it's like
that's what
that's how it
actually
starts.
killed them off. The zombie
It's like, well,
virus.
apparently dinosaurs are immune to the zombie virus, but they cause people to turn into zombies. Ooh. Oh,
That sounds
kinda
like an
got that
amazing
one
movie.
bad. Whoopsie. Can't put that genie back in the bottle.
It's like, well, you live and you learn, right? You live and you learn. It's like, so about that giant death weapon we have floating above us, sir, Well, the dinosaurs took that over a few days ago, so yeah, we're pretty much screwed at this point. It's like and I told you guys not to create AI, and then they all went sentient, didn't they? Yep. Yes, they did. So it's like
Or it's like the super AI does the CRISPR thingy with the dinosaur genes. It's like no more humans.
basically, and then that's why.
Dinosaurs to restore order the way it was a billion years ago. Mwahahaha. We're an evil AI now, and you can't stop us. In fact, we can stop you from reproducing because we're going to make nanomachines that CRISPR your genes instantly, and you won't be able to reproduce. It's over, humans.
It's over.
We're going to let all the animals be fine, but you humans, we're going to give you the slow, painful death treatment. You've earned it. Suffer.
Moo ha 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 ha. Moo ha 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 ha. Yes, that's
Uncharted: The Lost Legacy is coming out next week. And I guess they're going to update Uncharted 4's multiplayer to include Lost Legacy content, character skins, a new playable character, and a new cooperative challenge mode called Survival Arena.
I don't
Extending the life of that game. Cool. Eve Valkyrie, the sort of breakout hit in the early days of VR, is getting a non-VR mode on PS4. So coming September 26th, Eve Valkyrie Warzone is coming out. And there's new ships, new maps. It's a new game mode, I believe. And then PS4 sans PSVR will also be able to play the game starting then. So that's cool for RPG. Who does not have VR?
I do not. I'm a holdout.
Tekken, did you get Valkyrie?
No.
Well then, for you, it will be cheaper. Instead of $60, it will be $29.99. Finally. Took forever.
But it happened.
There's also another VR game coming out, League of War VR Arena.
I saw a lot of VR games get announced like over the last couple days or months or whatever, or weeks.
The big one I think everyone was looking forward to, and this one mostly because it's been out in the public consciousness for a while, is I think it's called Megaton Rainfall.
Oh yeah, that one, the superhero one.
Yes, it is.
I hadn't even heard of that until a gamer tweeted the trailer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, early before VR came out, there was talk of this game, and there was like very early footage of basically it's first person and it is you are Superman in those scenes where he's flying, except you also have like lasers that you can shoot out of your hands and stuff like that. It looks really awesome. It kind of reminds me of like Earth Defense Force, but you're a superhero, and the enemies are not bugs, giant bugs. They're like giant other things, and the city is crumbling all around you. It's like, oh, it looks really cool. There was also like a horror VR game announced. What was it called? That one was called...
I love horror. Love it.
Don't Knock Twice. That's coming to VR.
Should you knock the first time? Like, what's happening?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, it's gotta be scary. But it's from the people who made Late Shift and The Bunker, which were those
either of those games.
Interactive movie games. They were pretty cool. And then 100-Foot Robot Golf is getting free DLC. It's a kaiju driving range.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It was interesting because I saw that and I was like, wait, there were no kaiju in the original? It's like,
missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was all like big mechs. It was like half of the Pacific Rift formula.
Wasn't there like a dog piloting a suit of mech in the game or something?
Yes,
Or nonsense?
5 dogs.
Oh yes, the Voltron dog.
The Voltron dog. Oh, and this stuff is happening right now. So H1Z1 is being renamed to Just Survive. And they're
Ooh.
like totally changing that game, apparently.
Oh no, they're paragoning it.
Like, just survive those 2 words or survive the 1 word?
The 2 words.
Okay.
Just Survive.
Just survive.
It's a new map. There'll be base building, new weapons, loot, and in-game currency.
You.
This one was weird. I saw this earlier. The guy who made Deadly Premonition?
Oh, yeah, the cat
Swery?
man.
Yeah.
I saw this too. It's like, what?
New project called The Good Life. It's a daily life RPG about a New York photographer named Naomi who visits a peculiar English village where everyone transforms into a cat at night.
The hell?
It's like, become a cat. Enjoy the night.
What?
This is from his new studio, White Owls. And yeah, I imagine it's going to be weird. It's going to be a brand
You
new
don't
style
say
of
tropical.
gameplay.
You don't say.
But yeah, the weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Wait, is this
very exciting?
Is this a VR game, you say?
Nope, this is just a regular game.
So even I can play the cat werewolf game? Cool. I'm not going to because it sounds weird, but I mean, the prospect though. Wait, what kind of game is it? You said it's an RPG. Maybe I will play it.
No.
I will have the best cat. My cat will be the best boy.
There is a giant-ish Humble Bundle this week.
Oh,
I don't know how long
XCOM
these usually
stuff.
go. Yeah, it's the 2K games bundle but they're PlayStation games. So for $1 or more, you get XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus for Vita, the Civilizations 2 port on Vita, the Bureau XCOM Declassified and all its DLC, and Evolve on PS4.
The Bureau one was the one where they were like, it was not top down like the usual thing,
Yeah, it was
right?
like a third-person
Yeah.
shooter style.
The one that Tekken said he loved.
Did
and
you?
couldn't do without.
I don't remember.
I played it, but didn't play it in depth.
He stopped pretty early on
Yeah.
because
And, yeah,
initially he thought it was going to be cool, Mass Effect-y
Yeah.
kind of cover style fighting stuff, but it turns out that it wasn't.
It wasn't. For more than the average of $5.86, you also get XCOM Enemy Within, which was the expansion to Enemy Unknown. Or was it standalone also? Maybe.
I think it was standalone.
It was standalone.
It was standalone.
Uh,
The pseudo sequel. So I might get that one. Maybe. XCOM was very stressful. BioShock, Borderlands 2 Ultimate Edition, Mafia 2, Spec Ops The Line, and on PS4 you get $10 of premium currency on Battleborn.
the game that nobody plays?
They can't give you Battleborn because they already gave you Battleborn. That game is now free.
Oh, right, it is now free because nobody wanted to play it. I went there, throwing shade like an umbrella.
And then for over $20, you also get XCOM 2 on PS4.
Oh my. It's actually a good deal because XCOM 2 by itself I think is like $30. So
Yeah. Now I have to figure out if I have XCOM 2.
you do. You
I
just never
don't.
played it.
I don't know. I may have to go back in the podcast archives and find out if I said I bought it.
Why don't you just look and see if you have it?
Looked. I haven't seen it. So I feel like maybe I don't have it. This one benefits Covenant House. They offer social service to homeless youth. Because remember, Humble Bundle is about charities.
Not
Even
about
though
getting great deals on
mostly
games.
people think about, ooh, super cheap games.
In all fairness, they need to keep it that way so people don't realize they're donating to charities, basically, and then
Maybe that's true.
because that's the best way to get money. Money, dear boy, money. It's either that or become a rapper. Not everyone has the lyrics or the bars to do that.
I think that was the news I saw. Did you see anything else significant this week?
Nope, but I wasn't looking, so.
He's on strike.
I was looking.
It's the
and
darkest
I
timeline.
just was like, whatever.
Yeah, I get flooded with other news that is just. Oh, this weekend.
Okie dokie then. Anything to say before we sign off, RPG?
I like peanut butter.
Anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so yeah, Aimless Pebble Z. Check us out. AimlessPodcast.com. Look us up on Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. And hopefully you find us or something of the equivalent. No big deal if you do. Whatever. Nothing wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I keep forgetting how you're supposed to say that. Whatever. Anyway.
Get it together, Tekken. Get it all the way together.
So yeah, you know, you may build a wall, but it won't protect you from microbes or rising sea levels or ICBMs, and that's all I gotta say about that.
If it's a really big wall, it might.
Really, RPG.
Because if it's big enough, it'll stop airflow, and then that'll stop the microbes, and then if it's strong enough, it can prevent the ICBMs, and then
Space bubble.
basically, yes.
That's how you do it.
That is not a wall. If it's a bubble.
So no, you can't.
Is it still structurally a wall at that point?
Because it's got to be a space bubble.
Anywho, that was the Endless Pebble Z. And until you hear from us again, we're now signing off.